And he is a six-time Connecticut Sportscaster of the Year, our friend Scott Gray. You know, we had a fashion show here last week, all 27 minutes, just models, bikinis, fashion, fall. We say, you know what, no more sports with Scott Gray. Let's do a fashion segment all the time. Make that a regular segment.
Well, that's why I dress like this. You know?
You have competition now, man. Understand that?
I really do.
You're up against bikini models and fall fashion. And,
I lose every time to bikini models.
So if you find the invites coming slow, that's why. We got a new segment now, fashion. So it's a Jim Calhoun March Madness.
Yep.
Right, everyone's excited, filling out their brackets. It's already started here. We tape Wednesday. Things are going on Thursday. UConn's defending national champion, right? End of the day, when cut through all the season, the ups and downs, if you're Jim Calhoun, you tell your guys, listen, we are the defending national champion that goes through us. Right? Actually,
he's not telling them that.
Why not?
He is avoiding any talk. He has told his players, we are not out there to defend a national championship. He says, if you want to see the trophy, it's in my office. Go take a look at it. But we are not defending a national championship. This is a whole new year. He's avoiding any talk of being the defending national champions.
Why do you think he's doing that? Take off the pressure on you guys?
I think because he really does believe this is a whole new year. It's a new cast. Certainly you don't have Kemba Walker there anymore. And he just wants them to approach this as a whole separate entity.
That's different, huh? Different approach. There's two ways to do it. Either you go that route or you say, listen, guys.
Well, right. You go one way or the other, and I think it's a pretty good way to go. I really do. You know, I think there's a lot of pressure that goes with defending a national championship, and he's telling these guys, you know, Andre Drummond's a freshman.
Right.
Ryan Boatwright is a freshman.
Right. Kemba's not here.
Kemba's not here, so he's telling them we're a different group. We're going after our own. This is in our name only.
Listen, he's won 3 of these things, so he knows what he's doing,
right? He knows what he's doing.
Interesting interview this week he had on WFAN on radio where he mentioned his future, and I thought very interesting. He said that with or without the whistle, he wants to be a part of UConn basketball, which is very interesting. Sort of implying that if indeed he does step aside, he's not going anywhere. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Stan, and this may shock you a little bit, but I think one way or another, we're going to get an interesting announcement from Jim Calhoun at the end of this season. I think either he is going to announce his retirement, or I think he is going to announce that next year will be his last year, and they will name Kevin Ollie coach in waiting.
Why do you feel that?
I just feel that we've reached that juncture, and I think that with the new athletic director coming in, I think they're
Ward Manuel.
I think they're going to be looking for not necessarily a new direction, because they're definitely going to want Jim Calhoun. He lives there. He's not going anywhere. He and his wife aren't going anywhere. His family is there.
And they're trying to raise $35 million
and they're
for
trying
a press
to they're about halfway there now. And I just, you know, I mean, the direction there, Jim Calhoun will always be there advising, particularly if Kevin Ollie is the head coach.
Is that awkward, though? I mean, if you have the shadow, what you're saying really is that the shadow of Jim Calhoun will still be there, which may be a good thing for the program, but is that a good thing for his successor?
Well, I think it depends on the successor. You know, I don't think you would have the same situation that you had, say, at UCLA when John Wooden retired and Gene Bartow took over. I think you really have a kid in Kevin Ollie who's a member of the Calhoun family. I mean, more than the Calhoun coaching tree, a member of the Calhoun family. And I think that it would be kind of like a son asking a father for advice on an occasional basis.
Interesting. See, I think the guy after Calhoun, that you don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy after that guy.
You don't want to be the guy, but you do want the guy to be somebody who can give you your best chance at maintaining the reputation of the program, maintaining the success level of the program, and I think they're all looking at Kevin Ollie as that guy.
A lot of pressure. You mentioned Ward Manuel, the new AD, comes in, a Michigan guy, played for Bo Schembechler, highly regarded. A lot of pressure on him now. He has to make, you know, does he defer to Calhoun? Does he decide he's his own man on this thing? You know, watching how he orchestrates this is going to be very interesting as well.
It's going to be interesting. Nobody has really gotten an opportunity to really know him yet. He doesn't actually take over as the athletic director until Monday, the 19th. At the moment, Paul Pendergast is still filling that role.
What's your quick take on it?
He seems to be an extremely dynamic sort of person. Right. I think that he has had an opportunity, even though he hasn't taken over. He's had an opportunity to look around the athletic department. He's made some assessments of the athletic department. I think he already has some, I don't want to say changes, but adjustments that he'd like to make to the athletic department.
Like where?
I think really that I think he'd like to see more diversity in the head coaching ranks.
And they need that?
And I think they do need that. I think because I think it would surprise people if you look, not just now, there's not a single African-American head coach at the University of Connecticut. But I think if you look back, you may only find one that I can think of.
Right.
And that was the women's track coach who sort of filled in for Betty Remigino.
Right.
Betty was the women's track coach, and then she left to...
But they want to increase that diversity.
They want to...
And they should.
I think they absolutely have to.
I think him being there is going to be a big, important part of it.
And I think this is one of the reasons why I feel we're going to see... I mean, Jim Calhoun is 70 years old. He's had so many medical issues. I mean, certainly the fire still burns. Right. But here's a perfect opportunity to start in that direction, because you have just the perfect candidate to replace Jim Calhoun and bring some diversity to your athletic department.
Another issue on the table, it's not a diversity issue, but Gino Ariano's contract is coming up pretty soon. Could be his last contract, so how you structure that, and does he want a succession plan? That could be interesting to see how he works with...
Gino has pretty much said he'd like to sign another 5-year contract.
Right, but he hasn't said how much.
Well,
they want to sign a contract. The question is, how much he wants.
Obviously, I think it would be for an increase in pay.
Right.
I think there's a little bit of a just a little bit of a dip in the fortunes of UConn women's basketball this year, having lost to Notre Dame twice, having lost to Baylor. But I think a lot of it also has to do with, think back to when Elena Delle Donne left to go to Delaware. I think they're still feeling the impact of that.
But he's reloading, though. Gino reloads, and they continue reloading.
But he's reloading, and next year they're going to be right back on playing, and he'd like to sign another 5-year contract.
I want to sign a 5-year contract. I got to get out on time. If I don't get out on time, they're going to fire me, Scott Gray. We got to go. Thanks to your guest, Scott Gray. Really, Archdiocese, Gwen Samuel. Don't forget, catch the show, ctnow.com/Stan. Friend us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. For the good folks here at Fox Syndicate, I'm Stan Simpson. The morning news is next.